Hi, I'm Justin Boyd.
Hi,
I'm back from surgery,
sorry. Hi, I'm Coop the Conqueror.
and we are the Watchers in the Basement.
Welcome to the Watchers in the Basement. We are here today to discuss the final trailer, I believe, for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The trailer dropped last night during that thrilling national championship game between Georgia and TCU. Wow,
Man,
what a brutal game. The fact that they made us wait until the fourth quarter for that trailer, not sure what the purpose of that was. But
I didn't watch it, but I heard lots of stories on social media, and damn.
Yeah, I
yeah,
gotta hear the not safe for work pep rally talk by Mr. Kirby Smart. That shit was funny. I see why they scored 70 on their ass. That shit
Oh
had
my
me wanting to
god!
put pads on and get back on the field.
yeah,
Wow.
it was a tough game, but the trailer was worth the wait. I think.
Okay.
Not before we get into like you know spoilery things about the trailer, but what was like the overall thoughts of the trailer, Brittany?
Well, quick shout out to our friends in the UK, Nick and Claire, aka Walking with the Woods. Appreciate y'all being here. I know it's pretty late over there. Thanks for being here again. So overall, with the trailer, I thought it was pretty jam packed with action. Like my goodness, it was so much to try to absorb in just like one sit through. So naturally, one has to watch it several times. And for someone who's not really a huge Ant Man fan, I am solely here for Kang. I am solely here for Jonathan Majors. Frank, I think you said it in our group chat offline that this is the year for Jonathan Majors, and goddamn, it motherfucking will be. And I think this is going to be an amazing start off for the year for him.
It looks like his workout crossover from Creed 3 is in this movie as well. He looks jacked. He looks
Heck
jacked in his
yeah.
suit. I think he like Superman stomped Ant-Man in that trailer in the face. He looked jacked in. Like he's jacked, bro. Like I can't wait to see him perform in this movie. Like um I like Thanos, but I love this man's depiction of Kang, and I haven't even seen the movie yet. So this
For
might be
sure.
the year of Jonathan Majors, man, with his movies that he's coming out this year.
Hmm. Justin, what were your overall thoughts on the trailer?
I thought it looked fantastic. I think it. We've had a little bit of a break from the MCU. We haven't had anything since Guardians Holiday Special, so it's been a little while, and we still have another month to go until the movie comes out. But yeah, it looks really good. Looks like there's some real stakes involved. To me, it looks like they're really setting up. It's the first movie of Phase 5, so it looks like they're really establishing the next big bad right off the bat. And yeah, it looks amazing. Honestly, I was blown away. I mean, we're gonna go see all these movies anyway because this is what we do. This is what we talk about. This is what we like to do. But I'm more excited now to see this movie than I was before I saw the trailer. So, Brittany, if
Yeah.
you wouldn't mind, let's take a look at the posters for this movie. They've released 3 posters.
Yep.
They're all pretty cool. Here's one. The first one features Kang holding Ant Man and his crew in his hand. Thought that was a good look. Yeah,
It's a really great like focal point of just seeing how small Ant Man and Wasp are in like the midst that is Kang. Kang's gonna be the big bad in this whole, saga, right? So it's a great conceptual visualization of just how minuscule everything is in the world of Kang.
yeah, yeah. It's cool.
Fa- Fantastic.
Yeah, the second poster, I like that one too. It's a nice touch. Shows got Ant Man and the Wasp there, and I think you got Cassie there. Cassie laying on the far right hand side with Kang in the background. That's kind of a cool look. Then
Hmm.
they released one more, like right before the trailer came out last night. This is like the typical Marvel with like all the characters and um, anyway, I thought that's kind of cool. So the movie opens on February 17th, which that's a big day this year because that's Michael Jordan's 60th birthday. Can you believe Michael Jordan's gonna be 60 on
Never heard of her.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
February 17th, MJ's 60th birthday.
Wow.
The movie is reportedly going to have a runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes, so I like that. I like these short run times. That's a good run time. It's actually the longest Ant-Man movie though, but 2 hours 5 minutes. I can sit through that a couple of times, no problem. What do y'all think about the runtime? Frank, what do you think about the runtime?
You know what? I'm so accustomed with long Marvel movies, as long as they're good. So I mean, I don't mind about the
Yeah.
runtime. I mean, if it's 2 hours long, that's fine. As long as it tells a story and it doesn't feel like I'm being cheated of a quality story. But I mean, I've seen short run times that were horrible movies too. So I don't think this would be a bad movie at all. They're setting it up to be uh, a great kickoff to this Marvel phase. But what I will say is that if Kang's going to be the big bad villain in this, it's going to be interesting because I know with I don't know which phase Thanos was in, but it took a few movies for Thanos to like actually show up and speak. So
Yep.
it's going to be interesting to see Kang show up in the very first part of this phase, and we're probably going to see him through through the Kang dynasty of Avengers. So
Yep.
we're talking about 4 more years of Kang. So it's going to be interesting to see how involved he is going to be in these next few superhero flicks.
4 more years. 4 more years. Yeah, no.
Go ahead,
Go
Brittany.
ahead. Oh,
No, you
no,
go ahead.
I mean, all I was gonna say about runtime is, like, I'm a big fan of short runtimes, but to echo what Frank was saying, as long as they tell a good quality story and they don't cut corners, the plot line flows well, that's really all that matters to me. Just tell a good story in whatever time frame you feel is necessary. Let's not put in fluff just because we want to and because we have the budget to do so. Just make it a good quality story.
Yep. Once again, so the movie stars Paul Rudd is Scott Lang / Ant-Man. You got the Evangeline Lilly coming back as Hope Van Dyne. Michael Douglas is back as Hank Pym. Michelle Pfeiffer is Janet Van Dyne. We have our third actress to play Cassie Lang. We had Kathryn Newton will be playing the, I would guess, teenage to college age version of Cassie. As y'all mentioned before, Jonathan Majors is playing King the Conqueror, and Bill Murray has a undisclosed role. He's some kind of villain. We're going to see him. He wasn't in this trailer, but he was in the first trailer that came out in October. And also, there's a character in this trailer, a villain that we'll get to in a little bit that is not being credited yet, but I know who the actor is, so we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But
You're a
the
big
movie,
fan.
I like the villain.
You're a
Yeah, I
big
like
fan
the
of the
villain.
villain, yeah.
Yeah. So this movie, once again, directed by Peyton Reed. He directed the first Ant-Man, which came out in 2015, and he directed Ant-Man and the Wasp in I'm sorry, the first one came out in 2015. The second one came out in 2018. He recently was in an interview I read. He mentioned how the first two Ant-Man movies were both kind of like palate cleansers because they both followed Avengers movies. Ant-Man 1 was directly after Infinity War. I'm sorry, was after Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man 2 was after Infinity War. And he was talking about how, he was hoping this would be more of like an Avengers level movie, and it seems like it's going to be. Uh, what do you think about that, Brittany? Just like the scope of the movie, it looks bigger than the other Ant-Man movies.
Yeah, that's absolutely for sure. I mean, not only because the fact that we're going into, like, this quantum realm bit that Hope's mom was in for however many years, I can't even remember how many years she was in there, but the magnitude of the scenes, the sets, and everything that they're going to endure during this movie is incredible. It's incredible looking, um, but wow, I lost my train of thought. That was great. Help me along here, Justin. I'm dying. Uh,
No, I mean, we're talking about how the scope of it. Frank, it
mhm,
looks like this is like, I mean, I don't know that we're going to get Avengers in this movie besides
mm.
Scott Lang, but it seems like this is an Avengers level kind of threat, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He's going to be in like a bunch more movies. You have a Avengers titled movie called Kang Dynasty, so
Right.
he's definitely going to be a not just a universal threat, but a intergalactic threat. I think I can't remember what it was at Comic-Con last year, but it was the title of this phase was called the multiverse phase, and you kind of saw like the intro to that with Loki and even the um what if series of all these
Yeah.
different multiverses, Doctor Strange. So I think once you introduce that, it could be a very complex thing, but I think Ant-Man's gonna be a great introduction to this villain. I know he's gonna be a very integral part to this new style Avengers, and I think it's gonna give this new Avengers team, because we still don't know who all gonna be on this new team, but it's gonna give them an opportunity to like combat this intergalactic threat. So this movie gives me, I mean, the director's right. This movie gives me big like Avenger vibes. It gives me the vibe that Ant-Man's going to be an integral part of this new team. And even the movie, like in the trailer, you see him with his newfound fame, which is funny because like I remember in Endgame, he's trying to, the Hulk is giving autographs out to these two little kids, and like he's like, oh, hey, you want an autograph from me? I'm Scott Lang, and they don't give a shit. So to see that and mature to this movie where he's kind of like this like universal like fan loved hero. I'm looking. I want to see the maturation of his character and like the this new star level fame for this character too. So now this movie, it seems like it's very, very box office. It's going to give us Avenger style vibes. I will be surprised if you see a random Avenger in the movie as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping we do. And I think just kind of playing off what you said, like since Endgame, Scott Lang has become kind of a celebrity. He is a author. He has a book out. It's called "Look Out for the Little Guy." He's a podcaster, as we learned in Miss Marvel.
Shall I share a scene from the trailer?
Go ahead. Sure. Take a look at the trailer images. He's definitely embracing the celebrity and being a hero and like telling his side of the story from what happened in Endgame. And I think this movie, I think it's going to be a different kind of Ant-Man movie. I think we all liked the first couple of Ant-Man movies, but I think this is definitely an elevation. Like it's leading to something big right off the bat. And that's a cool thing to start off phase 5. And not only is it the first film of phase 5, it's the 31st film overall. And, recently we ranked rather the first 30 movies. So to see how we ranked the first 30 movies, click on the description below. You can check it out. The link is there. You can check it out. Please, watch it, see what you think about our rankings. And also recently we did an MCU character draft where we put all the characters from the MCU into a sports style draft. We selected teams. Unfortunately, none of us won, but go back and check that out. We appreciate that also.
Frank was pretty close, though. Frank was pretty close.
Frank was second. Yeah, so it's a good job, Frank.
Yay.
So as we get into talk about the trailer, I just want to note, like, if you haven't seen the trailer, we have the trailer linked below. We're not going to have the trailer. We're not going to be playing it live. We've had some copy claim issues in the past. So if you want to watch the trailer, check it out. It's in the description below. Wait till after this, or actually go watch the trailer, come back to this, and then, get our thoughts on it. But it's out there. So we're just going to do like kind of like the trailer in pictures, if you will. So yeah, we have Scott Lang here. He's a celebrity showing up on the red carpet, and Brittany can keep going with the slides.
Can I just say, not a fan of Hope's haircut. Doesn't do a thing for her. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, the movie is called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but this trailer did not have a lot of Wasp in it. Like just here and there. Like she is very much a sidekick and very much on the side. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So here we've got this is Cassie Lang again. Kathryn Newton is the third actress to play the character. I'm not familiar with her, so with Kathryn Newton. So we'll see. The trailer, she looks like she could play the part. Definitely seems like she would be, Paul Rudd's daughter or something. So
I wonder why she changed the characters. Change the actresses to play that role
because of the age jumping.
But like it would seem like the one that played Cassie the second time in Endgame would be of age.
Yeah, that's a good point.
4 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like with this depiction of Cassie, it looks like she's walking out of a jail holding cell.
Right.
Like, is she following in her dad's footsteps and being a Lang, if you will, and if so, what is she doing? What is she up to? Mm-hmm. Very curious. Yeah, is she hoping to become the world's greatest grandma at some point? Like, just curious.
We talked about her age, and her age is definitely a big part of the storyline. It seems from the trailer. The trailer basically Kang is bargaining with Ant-Man to, do something, to go to basically do his bidding, and the thing he can offer Scott Lang in return is time. And Scott Lang wants to go back and, get those lost years that he lost, whether when he was in prison or from what happened in Endgame where we had the time jump. He wants to like recapture those moments that were lost.
I definitely think it's the time lost from when he was in the quantum realm. What felt like 5 hours for him, but really was 5 years. I mean, he
Right.
loves his daughter more than anything, and I think for him to have lost out on all those years, I think that's probably what it is that he's trying to get back, and, of course, Kang is gonna be the guy to say, "Hey, I can do that. Just give me what I want." And what is it that Kang wants?
I have no idea. I mean, it would seem so to me that King got what he wanted after what Loki's
Sylvie.
yeah, after Sylvie killed him. Because by the time at the end of Loki, he's like literally a conqueror, has a statue in his honor, and he's all over these timelines now. So
Yeah.
it is interesting to see what else he wants that Scott can even offer him.
For sure.
Yeah, I look forward to that for sure. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Justin.
No, I was just say. So here we're seeing Cassie has come up with some kind of contraption to. It's basically a satellite to stay in contact with the quantum realm, and this MacGuffin is in the trailer. It appears to be the way that Ant-Man and everyone gets sucked into the quantum realm.
As you do.
Right. Right.
As you do.
Yeah.
Yep, here we are. This is kind of like
Yep.
if you're a Harry Potter fan out here, this looks like you're being sucked down with the port key. If y'all know what the port keys are, you're my people. Love you.
Very much so. Yep. There's Cassie on her way. Yep.
She's being transported to a whole other dimension.
Yep.
So this is just incredible.
Yeah, you see a lot of like clock kind of shapes and stuff as this is kind of playing. It's interesting to see, exactly where this is in the quantum realm, or is everything just the quantum realm, or they're like, does King have his own like city or something or country? I don't know. I'll be interested to see what happens.
I wonder with all this quantum stuff that's going on. Cause I'm gonna imagine that worlds are gonna like timelines are gonna collide and get destroyed and get intertwined. I wonder if we get a clue of like Fantastic Four, maybe X-Men, maybe a character from one of those fabrics of reality. Makes me
Perhaps
wonder.
maybe see Loki.
Yeah, maybe Loki, maybe Sylvie, something that shows us that these timelines are really like getting intertwined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the likelihood of maybe seeing another Avenger, if you will, is probably very likely, given this is like overlapping, like what Frank said. But this whole kind of space here, I don't know, in a way, kind of gives me Asgard vibes.
Yep.
Probably just kind of like this pyramid type structure, if you will, that we see here. But I don't know. This whole clip looks like it just keeps going on and on and on. Like there really is no end. It's like an infinity. Infinity. Just kidding.
Yeah, as we said, Frankie said a second ago, like there's multiple variants of people, and here we see two Ant-Man or two Scott Langs, and I mean at one point you see him running with like hundreds of them. It appears. So I'm interested to see how that all plays out with the variants, and I don't know. It's really it's a mystery to discover what that's all about.
Or maybe Kane may try to make deals with like the other, I don't know, 500 Ant-Mans, and they failed, and now he's trying Ant-Man number 501. I don't know. It is interesting that all those Ant-Mans you saw in the trailer really caught my attention about maybe those all failed like wishes that King had that he just couldn't achieve.
Yeah.
I like that theory. I like that theory a lot because the universe that we're dealing in currently is, what is it, 636?
616.
616. Yeah,
Mhm.
616. So yeah, I like that idea that maybe this Ant-Man is going to be the Ant-Man that fulfills Kang's desire. If I say desires, that just sounds wrong, but fulfills Kang's
His wishes.
that sounds bad too, but well,
Okay.
that's far less worse than
Well, it's
desires.
better.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Jesus.
Well, so this is the second trailer, but there was kind of a trailer that was released during Comic-Con that wasn't released to the public. It was only released to the people who were at Comic-Con, like in the Hall H or whatever in San Diego. And a lot of people said that there was a part in that trailer where Kang looks at Ant-Man. He's like, "Haven't I killed you before?" Or he asks him that, or he says something to that effect. So, um, I thought we were going to get that in this trailer because I feel like that's what explains a lot of this.
Mm.
Um, I don't know.
Probably
Whenever
would have
you
given
get
a.
with,
Oh,
go ahead.
all I was going to say is just that probably would have given too much away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To have
maybe
that as a
so.
confirmation.
Yeah, I mean, I did think that this trailer definitely kind of laid out the story. What did y'all think? Like, as far as like, here's how it starts. Scott Lang's life is awesome. He's a hero. Uh-oh. His daughter has a plan. She wants to help people in the quantum realm. Oh, it backfires. Now they're sucked in the quantum realm. And now he meets this guy, Kang, who Janet Van Dyne, who apparently was in the quantum realm for 30 years, knows who this guy is, knows that he's bad news. She's like, hey, you can't trust him. Scott's like, I don't care. What he's offering me is too good to pass up. And then obviously we see the double cross by Kang or whatever leads to that. I feel like they laid it out for us. I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of twists and turns and surprises, but I liked how it was very straightforward. I feel like uh, I don't know. I feel like they maybe gave a little bit too much away, but I feel like they also established what the hell this movie is about because we've known about this movie for a long time. The title Quantumania, and now I have a much better idea. Okay, this is what this is, and it's setting up, the King Dynasty movie that's 3 or 4 years down the road.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think when you have a structured story, and even to show that in the trailer, um, will help audience follow what's going to happen in the story. And obviously, it wouldn't be a Marvel if there wasn't twists and turns. Of course, I just hope that the finale of the movie will like hold up. There always seems to be like a third act problem,
Yeah,
and I think that's where I would be mostly concerned
yeah.
when this movie ends.
I don't think we're gonna have that problem with this movie, especially because I mean, not only do I think Jonathan Majors is gonna be a great villain, I think it's gonna be like The Empire Strikes Back, where the villain is gonna win. The bad guys are
Oh,
gonna win, and so the third act will not suffer from any kind of problems. I think it'll be. I don't know. I'm pretty high on this movie now. After that trailer we watched last night, I'm pretty excited.
yeah. Let's keep it going. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Kang. I mean, look at him. I mean, to echo again what I said earlier, what Frank said in our group chat, this is the year of Jonathan Majors, and I I loved him. The short bit that we got him in Loki, I was completely enamored by this man, and I knew that he was in what was that show, Lovecraft Country. I never watched it. John watched it, and he said really great things about it. And knowing that Jonathan Majors performed well in that show, so now for him to cross into the MCU and the kind of role that he's been given, and knowing that we're going to get a lot of him, is really exciting. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see just how manipulative he's going to be even in this movie. Frank, your thoughts?
Yeah, the kid has had a meteoric rise to say the least. Like Lovecraft Country came out during COVID 2020, immediate hit, and I think once the series ended, you got buzz that he signed on with Marvel like immediately after. So they probably started shooting maybe like 9-10 months after the conclusion of Lovecraft Country. So I've never seen the actor before. I saw parts of Lovecraft Country. Parts of it was hard to watch because of the historical concept of racism and the sci-fi aspect. I mean, but it looked really good. But to see him sign on Marvel and then get that Creed 3 debut with Michael B. Jordan. Like, it just shows the testament of this kid's talent, his hard work and determination, man. And I'm rooting for him. I really am. The transformation, the physical transformation he has. He did this Western movie with Idris Elba and a bunch of other black actors on Netflix, which I really love. And like, I watched it the other night, and I'm looking at him, his body, like he's a slender guy in that movie, and Love That Country, and this guy's like a freaking bodybuilder. So, in this movie, and in the trailer for Creed as well. So, I hope he sticks around for a long time in this series, and I think his impact is going to be something serious for the future of this phase.
I wonder in this movie, we obviously are going to see multiple variants of Ant-Man. I wonder how many variants of Kang we're going to see, or are we only going to see this one character?
I'd imagine that because this is supposed to be like a multiverse saga, that we're going to see variations of Kang. It would seem wrong to not show variants of Kang, but I think this is the one Kang that we really need to be concerned about, like as the big bad.
Right.
Because we know from what we saw with Loki that obviously the acts of Sylvie led to different branches of time being broken out from the original time frame, and I'd imagine that all those have different Kangs as well. But Kang the Conqueror is the one that we're probably going to be focusing on. I don't know anything about anything, but that's just my guess.
Yeah,
no, it's a good guess. I mean, this Kang definitely seems more menacing. I know when we saw him in Loki, he was like this happy-go-lucky, don't kill me guy, knowing he had ulterior motives, but he seems very menacing, and he seems like he's gonna fuck some shit up, and I can't wait to see it. Really excited about that. Like,
we're here for the toxicity.
Oh, all day, every day. I mean, my soul is Damon Targaryen's to have, so this is who I am. But I am slightly surprised that Marvel is giving Ant-Man to Kang. Like this is like the property of Ant-Man is a major character now, dealing with a major villain.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. I know Kang is an Avengers villain. He's also a villain of the Fantastic Four as well. So to see this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and he's a descendant of the Fantastic Four, or I guess of Reed Richards. So that'll be interesting. Like you said earlier, if we're going to see, maybe some reference to Reed Richards, who I guess is his great grandfather, or I'm not sure.
Interesting.
That was mentioned. I think that was mentioned. Was that mentioned in Loki, or maybe I'm just?
I read that in the comic book version.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. Let's keep on going, y'all.
Very cool. So this image here, it's kind of blurry, but if you look in the background, you see that big head. That is MODOK. So
sure is.
Yeah, MODOK, which of course we all know this, stands for mechanic. It's either mobile or mechanized organism designed only for killing. So of course we all knew that.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
I did enjoy the Hulu series of MODOK, which came out a couple years ago. It was like a claymation, animation kind of show. But so MODOK is going to be played by Corey Stoll, who, if you're familiar with the Ant-Man films, he played Yellow Jacket in. Was it Yellow Jacket?
Yeah, it was Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. Yeah, in Ant-Man 1. So
that's hilarious.
I wonder how. Is that comics accurate, Frank, where Yellow Jacket becomes MODOK, or is that no?
This is a popular recast.
Yeah.
Again, multiverse.
Yeah, right. I understand. It's just like it's weird that you're introducing a, another Avengers level villain with an Ant-Man, former Ant-Man villain. It's a kind of a weird way to go. But anyway, that was the first. When I saw that, I was like, "Is that MODOK back there?" I was like, because there's another shot later on that's a better shot of MODOK, but you don't see who the actor is. So
is he just a head like that? I mean, he's got a giant head.
Yeah, he's a giant head. And has like kind of like tentacle kind of arms and legs.
Oh, because it doesn't look like that at all here. It's just like a head and a helmet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's quite disturbing. Moving on from that. Oh, the lovely couple of Hank
Janet Van Dyne.
Pym
Yep.
and Janet Van Dyne. Love seeing these two.
Yeah, and Janet Van Dyne, she does have some lines in this trailer, but it seemed like the first trailer had more to do with her character because, as I mentioned earlier, Bill Murray is in this movie, and Bill Murray's character has history with her character from the time in the quantum realm. So
Like history?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Oh,
We'll have to find out, but it seems like that's kind of the way they're pointing. So interested to find out.
very much so. I mean, I guess if you spend 30 years in the quantum realm, I mean, you gotta pass the time somehow. Just
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
Just saying. But Bill Murray?
Yep.
Okay. Sure, we'll go with that. Everyone's gotta laugh.
Yep. Here's Ant-Man just kind of flying through the quantum realm.
Hmm.
Cool shot with the helmet on. I definitely
Yep.
think that Ant-Man, the more they show him, he looks cooler. Like
Hmm.
when you put him up with the original Avengers, he kind of like is like, not the cool guy. But now he's on his own. So he's kind of the glow up, I guess, is what I would say.
I wouldn't say glow up, but
Well, as a hero, like he's
okay.
becoming. I mean, who knows with this new Avengers group? I mean, I don't think he's going to be the leader of the team, but I think he'll be a senior member, depending on what happens. Maybe Ant-Man dies in this movie. I'm not sure.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, he gets really big. I mean, we know that much. He can become giant Ant-Man at
Exactly.
one point. So,
Here's the
oh, this is a
Wasp.
cool shot.
Yeah, yeah. The Wasp kind of flies in at a certain point. This is toward the end of the trailer, so
Hmm.
I'm guessing she makes some kind of move to help save Ant-Man.
Or save someone in
Yeah.
general. So,
Here we
I
go.
see what you're saying.
Yeah. Here's MODOK. Yeah. In action. This is more like the MODOK that was in the Hulu series.
He's got his hands out like, "Are you not entertained?"
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So
Just
that
kidding.
yeah, looking forward to seeing how they explain that character.
Frank, how familiar are you with MODOK in as a character overall?
To be honest, I'm not really familiar with him. Like I
Okay.
remember as a kid, I watched episodes of X-Men, and there was an episode or two that he was in there as like this. I think he's a multiversal villain where he has like a TV show and he steals heroes from other like multiversal timelines and he puts them in them to make them fight. And he caught Wolverine one episode and they had a fight or whatever. But that was pretty much it. I don't know much about him as far as the comic book version.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I literally know nothing. I did not watch MODOK like Justin did. But the fact that they were getting a recast of Yellow Jacket as MODOK is freaking hilarious to me. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, so this is toward the end where we see Kang and Ant-Man fighting. And Kang has like a super suit. Is that correct, Frank? He has like a
Yeah,
exoskeleton kind of deal or something.
it gives him super strength. I don't know if
Right.
it gives him super intellectual abilities. He's a very smart, like I mean, he's the
Right.
same with Richards, and there's been rumors that he's like the smartest villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, he's definitely up there when it comes to intellect and super strength.
Anyway, so we see his side of it. Then the next slide we see Ant-Man worse for wear, beaten up. This
Yeah.
is toward the end where in the trailer Kang says, "Hey, you didn't think you could win," and Ant-Man says, "I don't have to win. We just both have to lose." So, um, interested to find out what that means. I don't know if he's trying to like kill
Hmm.
them both or something, or uh, I don't know. I thought this trailer was like epic. Like honestly, like it was like, wow, this is. I was not expecting it to feel like another Avengers type movie. So I'm really excited to see what happens. And then
Yeah. And for it to be like an Ant-Man movie and feel like an Avengers movie or potentially feel like I mean, for sure it feels like an Avengers movie from the trailer
yeah,
alone. So I've got a little bit of high hopes now for Ant-Man and I hope I'm not let down because like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the Ant-Man movies. They're entertaining, don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but I hope I'm not let down. I hope this will be the movie that like really changes my opinion about Ant-Man as character and whatnot.
Here's the final thing we see with Kang. He's got his super suit firing from his hands.
Fire!
Definitely looks cool. In the trailer, Frank referenced this before. I couldn't really get a good shot of it because it's such an action shot, but Kang like stomps on Ant-Man's helmet and like crushes it, and you get a cool shot of from the helmet. You see it's cracked, and you see like Ant-Man looking up at Kang, and that's a cool shot. So looking forward to seeing that battle on the big screen.
Do you think we'll have a lot of interactions between Kang and Ant-Man, or the interactions that we see in the trailers like literally all that we're gonna get?
No, I think we're gonna get more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so too. I mean, I think especially from what it looks like he's trying to give him an offer. I think we're going to see Ant-Man more through that offer and like try to get a second chance, which is kind of selfish because does Cassie want that? Cassie's a grown ass woman now. Does she want to go back to being a kid, or do you? I mean, I wonder if he considers Cassie's feelings in all of this as well.
Or does that mean sending Scott Lang into a timeline where Cassie is still like a little girl and he could go and be with her in that timeline as a little girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where when we started getting into the whole multiverse of things and it starts becoming a little messy because it's just kind of hard to follow. Like, what do you actually follow when it comes with regards to like time travel and things like that, right? I mean, I think Endgame did a pretty good job with like trying to explain it, but at the same time, there's like still holes that not everything matches up or lines up very well. So it's curious if like what Frank is saying is true. Does Cassie want to go back 5 years prior so that Scott could get his time back with her, or what does it mean that he leaves that multiverse into a different multiverse to get that time back? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
And then why would Cassie want that if her dad's leaving her and you place in that timeline with a different Scott that she doesn't really know? Why would she want that?
Yeah, I like the multiverse aspect of. I mean, I think the multiverse just sounds like an interesting like thought or theory or whatever, because like they're basically like imagine like there's some universe where the three of us, instead of being podcasters, we're superheroes or something. Who knows? Like that would be cool, right? But when you introduce time travel, that's when it kind of gets wonky because like multiverse, like there's multiple versions of us living in these infinite worlds or whatever at the same time. But then like whenever you're like, well, I'd like to go to this world, but I'm going to go back in time 15 years or 10 years or whatever. That's when it kind of gets me off track. I'm not sure if I'm on board with that. So hopefully the time travel in this movie is explained and isn't like too silly, for lack of a better word.
Because it's already kind of confusing as it is, because like with Endgame, everything is 5 years in the future.
Exactly.
So now all the other movies have to be in 5 years in the future.
Right.
Then like some movies start where like 3 years prior to the future, or 2 years after the blip, and 1 year before the blip. It's kind of like it creates this confusion with all the other movies. So I hope that they find a way to stabilize the timeline to where everything's the same going to this new phase, even after Kang.
Yeah, there's got to be a reset coming. And maybe it's this movie. It seems like this would be a good opportunity to do that.
Perhaps, but it just hit me. I think I remember reading somewhere that the year that Endgame happened is the year that we're in now.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's 5 years.
Well.
Yep. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So that's crazy to think about. But I love you. That is life, and that's time for you. So I don't know. I want to pose the question to you guys. 2 questions actually. If given the opportunity to gain back time, would you do it? Would you strike a bargain with, Kang the Conqueror and get back time?
Frank, go ahead.
I think the dog answered for him. No.
Yeah, right. No, I wouldn't. I live my life the way it is. I was poor. Hey, stop.
CJ says the same thing too. He's like
disagrees. Yeah.
Oh, he's like, I want more time. I want more time with Dad. Oh, so sweet. Justin,
go ahead, Justin. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I would because it's not like I'm not getting any younger. You know what I mean? So like, I guess like, I mean, why not? Like, who would pass it? I mean, now granted, you're like, if someone offered you that, you're like, okay, that's not real. It's not going to happen. But
Yeah,
sure, why not? Take a
sure.
chance. What about you?
I think I'm a little drawn between the two. It's kind of like I like where I am at in life, knowing the things that I know now than I did, let's say 5 years ago or 10 years ago or what have you.
Yeah.
Um, but there's also a lot of things I think I would have liked to have done when I was younger. If I had the means and the opportunities
Right.
to go and explore the world more, or just try different things in general. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at in life. Of course, I there's definitely no regrets. I would have liked to have had a dog sooner in my life because wow, y'all, like if you don't have a beloved animal in your life, you need to get one because it makes your life that much better. But yeah, I would definitely have liked to have had done more when I was younger. But it's okay. I don't think I would rather I don't think I would bargain with an evil villain just to get time in general. But, the second question I have for y'all, and I don't know if this was planned in your notes, Justin, but predictions. What are your predictions for the movie with regards to, let's say, people either sacrificing themselves or making it out alive? What are your thoughts? Whoever wants to go first.
Frank, you go ahead.
I think Hank Pym dies. I I think
That's a good one.
he's
Yeah.
going to be the ultimate sacrifice. I think he saves Hope in some form of fashion and Ant-Man, and I think he sacrifices himself. And I think that's when you really see like Scott Lang. I mean, even though he is the mantle of Ant-Man, but I think
Right.
that's going to officially, with him dying, make him the official only Ant-Man around because you still have the scientific intellect of Hank Pym around. I think he's going to be gone. It's going to be all be on Scott Lang and Hope.
Okay. That's a good one.
That's a really
Just
good. No, that's a really good. I didn't think about that. And
yeah.
if you, and in both of the trailers they've released, Hank Pym is so like downplayed. Like he is not that he's huge in the movies anyway, but like he's such a like afterthought that's such a good one for if you're going to get rid of a character or have a death, that would be a surprising one because no one's even thinking about him. So that's a good one, Frank. I think my prediction is I think Ant Man is going to get trapped in the quantum realm or something, and I think that he'll either get trapped or he will die, only to return for Secret Wars or whatever is down the road. But yeah, I think Ant Man will be taking a break after this
Hmm,
movie. I mean, not too long because we're gonna have a couple Avengers movies here in the next 3 or 4 years, so we'll see him
right.
again. But I think we're gonna be made to believe that he either was died or he was banished somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. So I would hope that we wouldn't lose Ant-Man to any capacity just because it's his movie, and that would be really unfortunate that he'd either die or get trapped in his own movie. But it's happened. It's happened before, obviously. So I would hope that wouldn't be repeated for this movie. I do think we're going to lose someone. The great prediction for Hank Pym. I kind of want to say that it might be Janet. I mean, she was already trapped in there for so many years, and it would seem appropriate for her to kind of go back and like maybe finish whatever it is that she started over there. If she's got beef with Kang and or Bill Murray's character, whoever he may be, it would just seem a little poetic for her to go back and die in the quantum realm and save everyone to get out from there. I do think there will be something with Kang, of course, either kind of like what Justin you were saying with maybe Scott Lang being trapped in there. I think there's going to be something where Kang maybe just he somehow makes it out of the quantum realm and goes into a different multiverse. He may encounter himself in a different multiverse, but like I said, I think
Right.
this Kang the Conqueror is like the one that we need to watch out for. This is the big bad, despite whatever variants we may get. This is all speculation, of course. But yeah, those are my predictions for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Very cool. And the next thing after Ant Man is going to be Secret Invasion. Now we don't know exactly when, but it's supposedly spring. You know, some point. Probably, I would say maybe in March or so, maybe March or April. And I'm not sure if Quantumania will lead into Secret Invasion exactly with the storyline, but you're going to have that coming after it. At some point later this year, we're going to have Loki season 2, which would make sense for the next time we see
Yay!
Kang or somebody, turn up again. So, because the movie directly following this movie is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I think is going to be a separate. I mean, it's obviously in the MCU, but I think they're going to be finishing that Guardian story with James Gunn. I don't
Yeah,
think you're going to see a lot of crossover with other characters. So,
probably not.
yeah. So, anyway, those are our thoughts. Check out the trailer again. I'm going to watch it a few more times. I've really enjoyed this one, and I'm excited that we have MCU to talk about. So, but Brittany, how can people tell us what they think about us on social media?
Well, by joining us here on our live streams as we discuss these topics and anything else that you all want to discuss, the live chat is the best place to chat with us. Do want to give another quick shout out to Nick and Claire from all the way from the UK, Walking with the Woods. Appreciate y'all being here. They enjoyed the trailer. They said it was awesome. So, needless to say, they're looking forward to the movie. So, that's awesome. But you can also follow us here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment, but also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Watchers Basement. Use the same hashtag to help grow our audience. We are on the road to 300 subscribers, and at time of recording, we're at 208. So that's amazing. We hit 200 subscribers before the end of 2022. So let's get to 300 subscribers before, I don't know, mid 2023, y'all. Does that sound good? Like, I think that's a reasonable request. So let's do it, y'all. And lastly, we also have audio podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks to Anchor.fm. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Back to you, Justin.
Thanks, Brittany. So for Brittany, for Frank, this is Justin saying we'll see you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.